Okay, so there's a large fan base. Not even gonna say large, because that's giving them too much credit. There is a section of the Liverpool fan base that is on Twitter, the toxic place on X, which is a better name for it. That's what it's called. That are saying Arne Slot out, and this is why sometimes as football fans or sports fans in general that you have a cult or a group of persons who just really think or don't think at all, whose emotional intelligence just don't match. I'm not saying that they're dumb. I'm just saying that they don't think enough because it's emotionally triggered because of recency bias. Now, we understand that Liverpool aren't performing to their optimum or their best. They have spent over £400 million in the transfer, and this team looks absolutely in shambles. And sometimes the identity of the squad isn't there. And it also looks like at times that Arne Slot doesn't have an idea as to what he's doing. Those are fine. Those are justifiable questions that needs to be answered. And those are questions that I have even asked other Liverpool supporters, really, like what the hell is going on? And of course, you're going to have rival fans who just will be bantering and doing the most, and understandably so, it's tribalism and we get it. But there are a special set within the Liverpool fan base who are saying Arne Slot doesn't know what he's doing. Arne Slot is a complete buffoon. Arne Slot is one clearly has no idea to get this team forward and needs to be out. Now, there are also YouTube content creators, Liverpool supporters, so to speak, who come up with this idea that the manager has no balls, that the manager has completely lost the plot, that the manager has no idea of running this team. Just to remind you that these are the same content creators who lauded Arne Slot for the work he did last season. Of course, he wanted to go far in the Champions League and we wanted to win that. But we lost to the best team in the Champions League, which is PSG. But these are the same persons who lauded Arne Slot for winning the Premier League in his first season, for taking over Klopp's team and winning with that same squad. And now that he has assembled his own squad in the transfer window, it seems to be as if he doesn't know exactly how to run his own team, which is a very interesting thought, which is quite fine and again a justifiable question to ask. But what is exactly the motivation or the motive behind that? No, I understand that sometimes I think as fans, football fans, that we want to see our team be successful on the field, off the pitch, more often than not, every single moment. But there are times, as football fans, as sports fans in general, that we're going to have times that it looks as if it sucks. It looks as if this team does not have an idea. There's going to be slumps. Now, I understand we have lost 6 out of the last 7 games. And again, questions should be raised and concerns should be there. I am of that same cloth to ask the question, what on earth is the manager doing? Why is it that we can't get it right in terms of ball progression, in terms of in possession, and in terms of pressing? Why we can't get it right? Why is it that we're struggling to defend set pieces? But to say that this manager, who has given us our second Premier League title in 5 years, has no idea what he's doing is one, egregious, and it's also nonsensical on your part, because it only goes to show that you are in it just because Liverpool are successful for the past, call it a decade or less than a decade, that you've really honed into the Liverpool culture or spirit because Jurgen Klopp revived a club that was dying. And nothing is wrong with that, but don't act as if no, you are high and mighty and you think you know best because Liverpool in recent times have been successful. Where were you when Liverpool was suffering under the likes of Brendan Rodgers and to some extent the second stint of Kenny Dalglish and suffering with Roy Hodgson? Where was this kind of energy? Where were these kind of persons? Most of these persons became Liverpool fans around 2016 or 2014 when they were slowly trajectorying into becoming a super power team in Europe. Where was this energy when Liverpool were constantly competing just for top 4 in the Rafa Benitez? So I understand social media wasn't prominent at the time and the internet wasn't buzzing. But where were these persons? So because Liverpool has gone through some level of success, that we don't have slumps, that there are times that we don't have periods or areas in the season where we just go through suffering. And yes, the pressure is on the manager. The pressure should be on the manager. He's the one that spent the money. He is the one that agreed to the transfers of Isak, of Ekitike, of Verts, who is struggling, who did not get Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace and lay and waited for a long time, which could have been addressed early. Yes, and it's not just the manager. It goes to Richard Hughes, it goes to Michael Edwards as well. I call those the Holy Trinity in some aspects. But now we're seeing that maybe there's a misprofile in the players that they actually wanted. Or there is a kind of stagnancy or transition period from the old guards, the legends, like the Mohamed Salahs, like maybe the Van Dijks to some extent, that are finding it difficult to transition into the new way of how Arne Slot wants to play. But we have to rally behind our manager. Where was his energy when Jurgen Klopp? Because again, these are the same fans who are saying that they want Jurgen Klopp to come back, but don't remember when Jurgen Klopp was actually going through a very torrid time in 22-23, where they could not get wins, where they were losing left, right, and center. In 2021, even though it was injury riddled, that they were losing 6 home games on the bounce. Where was this team? And then to have the gall to say that, my grandfather went to Liverpool and we had to leave because he feel a kids team. I do remember when Aston Villa played Liverpool, I think in 2021, if my memory serves me right, and there were kids out. Van Hoover was out. I think Tyler Morton was playing as well. Kai Gordon was also playing. There was a very young team. Sepp Vandenberg, who is playing in Brentford now, who's starting for Brentford, was playing in that squad as well. And we lost 5-0 to Aston Villa. Where was that energy then? It's easy to support a team when they're doing well, but it's much easier to criticize when the team is not going well, when there are hard times. Same thing with Arsenal fans when Mikel Arteta was losing. Arteta out. So you can let me know in the comments what you think. Should Arne Slot go? Should he go now? Or we wait until the next 3 games, which are Aston Villa, Real Madrid, and Manchester City. 3, I'm pretty sure, difficult games, which may be season defining to some extent. Does he go after? Which I don't think they will. I think this club, this organization has an idea. They know exactly what they are doing. I believe that they do. But I also believe that maybe it is possible that they may have misprofiled some of the transfer that we did. Maybe because of how the league was transitioning into a more super physical, set piece, long throws, very direct, very athletic league. So guys, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm pretty sure a video is about to pop up right now, so you can watch that and let me know your thoughts. Until next time, guys, peace.